Hello and welcome to Top Select 10. The year 2024 has been epic for action movie lovers. From adrenaline-pumping stunts to jaw-dropping visuals, Hollywood has delivered some of the most explosive blockbusters of the year. In this video, we're counting down the top 10 best Hollywood action movies of 2024 that you absolutely cannot miss. Whether you love superhero epics, high-octane thrillers, or edge-of-your-seat adventures, this list has something for every action fan. Here's what to expect. Spectacular stunts and breathtaking action sequences, gripping storylines and unforgettable characters, box office hits that lived up to the hype. Get ready to update your watch list with these must-see action-packed films. Grab some popcorn, settle in, and let's dive into the best action movies of 2024. Which movie was your favorite? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more top lists and movie recommendations. Number 10. Code 8. Part 2. After witnessing the murder of her brother and subsequent cover-up, a teenage girl with abnormal abilities seeks the help of an ex-con and his former partner in crime. Together, they face a unit of corrupt police officers who deploy advanced robotic technology to prevent themselves from being exposed. 5 years following the events of Code 8, the LCPD has reformed their militarized tech program, replacing the majority of their armed humanoid robots with non-lethal companion K9 robots, similar to dogs. Under the leadership of Sergeant Kingston, the project has been a success and the streets have never been safer. Kingston is running for mayor on back of the success of the project. More than 200 K9 units have been deployed throughout the city. Kingston claims that the K9 units have been programmed not to harm humans and will stand down as soon as the human threat surrenders. Number 9. Badland Hunters. When an earthquake turns Seoul into a lawless Badland, a fearless huntsman goes on to rescue a teenager from a mad doctor who held the teenager captive in a camp full of dangerous cultists. In Badland Hunters, a high-octane Korean action film set against a gritty post-apocalyptic backdrop, we delve into the lives of two tenacious bounty hunters, Ji-hoon and Soo-min, surviving in the unforgiving Badlands. In a world where societal structures have crumbled, leaving only remnants of law and order, the Badlands become a playground for criminals and outlaws. Ji-hoon, a former elite military operative haunted by a troubled past, reluctantly partners with the resourceful and cunning Soo-min. The duo takes on dangerous missions to capture elusive targets, navigating through the harsh terrain filled with rival factions, mutated creatures, and the constant threat of lawlessness. Number 8. Roadhouse. Troubled former UFC middleweight fighter Elwood Dalton makes a living scamming fighters on the underground circuit. He is approached by Frankie, the owner of an unruly roadhouse in the Florida Keys community of Glass Key, who offers him a job as head bouncer. Initially, Frankie wanted to hire Carter, but had no option other than Dalton. When Dalton entered the ring and Carter refused to fight him because of his history and reputation. Frankie says that her roadhouse was frequented by highway drivers, but lately it is attracting the wrong crowd. They come in every night, they trash the place. Cops are of no help and all her bouncers left the job. Frankie offers Dalton $5,000 per week for his services. Initially hesitant, Dalton takes up the offer after narrowly averting a suicide attempt with a freight train that destroys his car. He takes a bus to Frankie's establishment, called simply the Roadhouse, and befriends Charlie, a teenager who runs a bookstore with her father, Steven. Number 7. Red 1. After Santa Claus is kidnapped, the North Pole's head of security must team up with a notorious hacker in a globe-trotting, action-packed mission to save Christmas. As a kid, Jack visited his Uncle Rick on Christmas. Jack did not believe in Santa Claus and told his cousins the same thing. He ate the cookies and milk meant for Santa and was not afraid of the naughty list. 30 years later, Jack grew up to be a professional hacker. He breaks into the office of National Oceanic Geographic Administration and hacks their computer system hardware. MORA is a clandestine, multilateral military organization that oversees and protects a secret peace treaty between mythological creatures and humanity. Callum Drift, commander of ELF and head of Santa Claus's security detail, requests to retire after one last Christmas run, as he has become disillusioned with increased naughty behavior in the world, exemplified by the growth of Santa's naughty list. The list has grown by 22% over last year, and for the first time the naughty list is bigger than the nice list. Callum is experiencing a loss of faith. Callum had served Santa for 542 years. Number 6. The Lord of the Rings. The War of the Rohirrim. Set 183 years before the events chronicled in the original trilogy of films, it tells the fate of the House of Helm Hammerhand, the legendary king of Rohan. A sudden attack by Wolf, a clever and ruthless lord of Rohan, with dubious ancestry, having many ties to Dunland, He seeks vengeance for the death of his father, forces Helm and his people to make a daring last stand in the ancient stronghold of the Hornburg, a mighty fortress that will later come to be known as Helm's Deep. Finding herself in an increasingly desperate situation, Hera, the daughter of Helm, must summon the will to lead the resistance against a deadly enemy intent on their total destruction. Number 5. The Shadow Strays. Codename 13, a 17-year-old trained assassin is under suspension because of a sloppy mission in Japan. The girl built a conscience when she met Manji, an 11-year-old boy who lost his mother to a crime syndicate. When Manji is captured, 13 is hellbent on setting a path of destruction to rescue the boy, including going against her mentor and the organization who hires her, the Shadow. Number 4. The Roundup. Punishment. While pursuing the developer of a drug trafficking app, Detective Ma Suk-do uncovers a deadly link to a vast online gambling syndicate, triggering an unprecedented alliance to take down the masterminds. It was a very good movie from the start of the Roundup, and this actor always do his part perfectly good. He must act in Hollywood movie. He will be a perfect add to any movie. His fight and act will make any movie entertainment. Number 3. Gladiator 2. 16 years after Marcus Aurelius's death, Rome is ruled by the corrupt twin emperors Geta and Caracalla. Aurelius's grandson, Lucius Verus Aurelius, lives under the alias Hanno with his wife Erishat in Numidia. General Acacius's Roman army invades and conquers the city, enslaving Lucius and killing Erishat. To advertise the slaves as potential gladiators, the Romans pit them against feral baboons. Lucius savagely kills a baboon, impressing the stable master Macrinus, who promises Lucius an opportunity to kill Acacius if he wins enough fights in Rome. Number 2. Sheriff. Narco Integrity. Sheriff, a police officer from the Integrity Department who is dedicated and insightful. He is paired with Nazri, a young and idealistic police officer from the Narcotics Department. Their mission is to bust a drug syndicate headed by the ruthless Kingpin Tony. The Kingpin is involved in the distribution of methamphetamine, and many people have died at the hands of this meth killer. Number 1. Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails reunite against a powerful new adversary, Shadow, a mysterious villain with powers unlike anything they have faced before. With their abilities outmatched, Team Sonic must seek out an unlikely alliance. The trio battle Shadow, only to discover that he is way stronger than them and he runs away. Team Sonic go to meet GUN Commander Walters, and he reveals that the corporation had discovered Shadow in 1974 in a meteorite. Shadow used his powers for various experiments, but things took a turn for the worse. The project leader was arrested and Shadow was put into stasis. To make matters worse, Dr. Robotnik arrives with an army of drones, fatally wounding Walters. Just before he dies, Walters hands Sonic a digital keycard and asks him to remain safe. Team Sonic don't know who to trust anymore, so they decide to battle Shadow without the aid of GUN. Agent Stone reveals that Robotnik is still living and didn't send the drones. The trio join Robotnik and they follow the drones to a deserted GUN base.